Hi, I'm Tabitha Benway, the host for Your Ageless Body, where you'll be discovering the age-defying secrets to looking and feeling more vibrant every day. I have the pleasure of speaking today with Marcie Peters. She is an author, and she's also a health and a happiness coach. Marcie, when people come to you, what is it that they're looking for in their lives most often?
Yeah, most often people are looking for more vibrant health, whether it has to do with losing weight, feeling better in their bodies, and then also aging well, or what I call aging backwards.
I love that. And when you say aging backwards, are people looking more for how they're feeling, how they're looking, or is it all of that?
Everything. So it has to do with how you're looking, how you're feeling in your body, and just how you're handling life and getting better and better with age versus having your body break down, experiencing arthritis, age-related disease, dementia, and so forth.
Okay, and you also have some personal experience with some of that as well. Will you share your experience and what that felt like for you?
Yeah. I got sick in my early 20s and it came out of the blue. I was in the corporate world, working really hard and working my way up. And all of a sudden, I got really sick. And at first, I thought it would pass and it didn't. And so that led to going to quite a few doctors, more than I can remember or count. And doctors didn't have answers, and they ended up diagnosing me and said it was incurable. And sorry, we can't help you type of thing. And so I got to take the journey to find my own answers and to find ways to reverse that incurable diagnosis.
And do you focus mostly on what you're eating or what people are eating and helping with them, or is there also various aspects that you're looking at?
Yeah, so we're not just physical bodies, so we can't just focus on nutrition, but nutrition is really important. And in conjunction with mindset, lifestyle choices, how you're handling stress, and really how you're approaching your relationship with yourself. I call it the primary relationship. And it's the most important relationship in your whole life because everything in your entire life ripples out from that relationship that you have with yourself. And that means how you're interacting with yourself, how you're talking to yourself, what you're saying to yourself, the messages that you're giving to yourself about what you're capable of and what you can do. And if you believe in yourself, basically being your own best cheerleader and advocate and best friend. And along with that comes tapping into a higher source, whatever it is you believe in. It might just be the highest version of yourself. There might be something that goes beyond that, but letting yourself receive that support and encouragement. And I use meditation a lot as a way to tap into that. It's really, really instrumental and magical.
I saw that you also have some meditations that you offer to help your clients as well, more guided meditations. Is that correct? Can you tell us a
Yeah,
little
I
bit?
do personalized meditations for my clients. I give them an opportunity to really take that deep dive both in session and also on their own, so that it's customized to their specific things that they're wanting to work on, and then that shifts as we move forward in the journey.
And what sorts of things does that open up for them when they start to have a relationship with themselves?
Yeah, well, when you really love and accept yourself, everything shifts and changes. So, really, it opens up joy, happiness, abundance, and pulling in prosperity, what you can attract into your life, whether it's the love of your life, more love in general, money, prosperity, your life purpose, your passion, and of course, vibrant health and feeling amazing in your body.
Now, I know some people might say, well, what's the connection? Like, does meditation help us to gain health? And are there actual tangible steps in addition to that you walk people through?
Meditation helps us to calm down our nervous systems. Most of us habitually live in a place of fight or flight. And this is really hard on our nervous systems. We're meant to only go there on occasion. Like back in the day, it was running from the tiger. Now it's to avoid an accident if someone stops in front of you quickly. But we're not meant to stay in that nervous system state. It's called the sympathetic nervous system. And so meditation is a chance to not just go through life busy, 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 or sleep. It's one or the other, but to have that in between time where our brain waves go from beta, which is high beta, is the fight or flight, and can start dropping down into mid beta, low beta, into alpha and theta, which that's where we can access our subconscious mind. Beta brain waves are conscious in our conscious mind, which is only 5 to 10%. So what we want to do is access that operating system, what's running in the background. Like a computer always has an operating system running in the background. You're not really aware of it, but it's always there and it's affecting absolutely everything. So when we go into meditation, we can really start to quiet down, let our bodies relax and unwind, and our nervous system calm down and move into these different brain waves. That's when we can start to affect the operating system and start to affect our lives and the vibration that we're running at. So we're all energy, and I like to think of it as a spectrum of energetic vibration. The highest level of vibration is love and gratitude and joy and happiness. And so as we start to quiet down, as our nervous system calms down, we can start to access those higher vibrational states. And the longer we're in those vibrational states, the higher ones, the more we attract love, abundance, more joy, because like attracts like. So when you shift your own vibration, you will attract more of that vibration. And even if, it's not something you're accessing all the time, if you can start to access it more and more, then these shifts start to happen. And that's when synchronicity happens. That's when the people, the opportunities, the things in your life start to show up and just naturally come into your life. Or you get opportunities to take action, so there is action involved too, but a lot of it's the energy that we're emitting that is going to be attracted to that same energy.
So you're saying in relation to aging, it does help us, just that relaxing of our body helps us to bring that aging backwards into our lives, but also it helps us to make choices that, whether it's around food or exercise, that also helps our bodies to age backwards.
Yes, so it's operating on a variety of levels, both energetically and also epigenetically. Epigenetics is just the study of the cell and genes and how they express themselves, because our genetics are not our destiny like we used to believe. And so we can change ourselves on a cellular level, called epigenetics, and we can do this through quieting down our nervous system and actually creating new possibilities for ourselves, and starting to believe new things about us, about our bodies and what we're capable of. And there have been studies where people have eradicated cancer. They've reversed other types of illness and disease, and really, let themselves change on a cellular level. And it's like anything else. The more consistent you are, the more consistent your results will be. If you do something once, you won't really get much of a result. If you're doing it every day, if you're exercising every day, you'll have more muscle tone. If you meditate every day, you'll have more peace of mind, more clarity. That's when the answers that we have inside can start to come to us, and we can access our intuition. We have more peace of mind. We can handle situations better. And that's when things can also shift on a cellular level.
I love it. It's interesting, you hear about people doing more coaching themselves, like I am peaceful, I am this and I'm that. But is meditation different than that? I mean, it seems more of like a place that you're going.
Yeah, so those are affirmations, what you're talking about, and that accesses the conscious mind, that 5 to 10%. So it's like the iceberg where you see a little bit sticking up out of the water, but the majority is under the water and you can't see it. So affirmations are great, and I love affirmations, and I have even, like I wear, different things that remind me consciously, and meditation acts on more on the subconscious level once you start to really sink down into it. So it is different.
So is meditation best when guided to access the subconscious?
I always say whatever you can find that keeps you compliant, that keeps you doing it, do it. So it might be a guided meditation. It might be just setting a timer. It might be setting a timer with music. There's different ways to do it. I like to do a combination. And when I first started meditating every day, it was guided meditation because that reels in the mind and it gives the mind something to focus on. Another thing is you can repeat affirmations. You can repeat something that gives your mind something to hold on to, because the mind's going to drift, and that's natural, and just expect that it will drift, and then you'll bring it back to your affirmation or the music, or if you're being guided. Now I like to do a combination where I also sit in silence and just receive, and just open myself up to receiving, and open myself up to my higher power. Sometimes I speak out loud to my higher power, and then just listen to the answers.
I love it. So tell me, I know that your clients have had a lot of experience with weight loss, but that doesn't seem to be solely what you're focused on. Is that something that just tends to be a beautiful side effect that they are experiencing, or do you go in with the focus of that sometimes?
I started out with health because of my own 16 years of chronic disease, and all that I dealt with there. And so I started out really focused on health, got my certification in holistic nutrition. And what I realized pretty early on working with people, is that if you just focus on nutrition, you can change the body and you won't have full transformation. And what I realized is I don't want to just have people losing weight and looking better. That's great. And there's, I think that's wonderful, and it will stave off diabetes and so forth. And I want my clients to have transformation on all levels. I want them to really feel amazing and be happy, and to love themselves, and to start to really attract, what I was talking about, the higher vibrations of joy and happiness and love, and really just to be enjoying life at a higher level. And I also realized that weight loss is a side effect of loving yourself so much that you're making good decisions for yourself, and consistently making those good decisions, because you're always going back to a place of I love myself, I honor myself, I want to take care of myself. I'm my own best friend. And when you're best friends with someone, you watch out for them.
Yeah, that's so true. We get to be our own best friend and then share that with others. And I love that you're teaching that and sharing that with others. We do have in our society so many cookie cutter options out there, right? Like this diet and this advice. And so many people have tried the different things that are available, and they say they don't work. And of course we know they don't. Will you speak a little bit to why they don't work and why this is different?
Yeah, well, because it needs to be on that deeper level. And diets can work, but I never think of it as a diet. I always think of it as a lifestyle change. I always think of it as a new habit that you're acquiring. And once you get the ins and outs of it, it becomes easy and effortless, and it's just part of who you are. It's part of the fabric of who you are and what you stand for, which is taking care of yourself, your body, your soul, your mind, your emotions, and so forth. And then the other component too is having that personalized help, being able to really look at those patterns that don't serve you, the stories that you have, your identity, who you think you are, and what you're capable of, and really to start to sift through that and create what is important to you. Start to choose your beliefs and let go of the past. And sometimes that's a process of just talking about it. Sometimes there's a forgiveness process. Sometimes there's deeper healing work and energy work. So it's different for everyone, and it's really personalized. And so I've had clients who have needed some of that or little of that, and most people, it's a deeper dive.
And then can you just give us, I know you have a wonderful book that we're going to talk about in a little bit, that I'm so excited to talk about, but can you give us some of your, what would be your, I hear what you're saying as far as knowing yourself and being your own best friend. I love that tip. Can you also give us a few more tips on how to feel and look more vibrant?
Well, I think on a physical, strategic level, the number one thing you can do is get enough sleep, is let yourself go to sleep early enough that you can wake up naturally and get that quality of sleep. And for most people, it means having a dark room, having a cool room, just minimizing distractions, and also minimizing the type of light you're exposed to from computers and electronics. So just on a strategic level, sleep was one of the number one things for me that helped me recover. I was someone who would get a second wind around 11 p.m. And by the way, that's a sign of adrenal fatigue. So that's something to look at. And so really taking care of yourself at that level. And then I would say, look at your language. Language gives us a lot of indication into our subconscious. Again, that operating system that's playing in the background that you're not necessarily aware of. But if you look at the things that you most often say to yourself, like for me, when I was sick for all those years, I found myself often saying, it's such a pain, it's such a pain. Well, I was in pain constantly from head to toe. I was achy and in pain, and that was part of my languaging, and it was manifesting in my body because I was creating the belief that this was a pain and that, and everything, traffic was a pain, and being late, and having to do this thing and that thing, and so I was denying what is the truth of what is. And so when you can be in acceptance, that makes a big difference. And then look at your language. Look at the things that you say to yourself. Maybe you don't say them outside, out loud, externally, but internally, you're saying stuff to yourself. And with women, a lot of times it's bad, I hate my body, I don't like this or that, and picking on different parts of the body. And so just pay attention to that and choose. Is that what you want for your life? Because with every word, it's an affirmation either for or against you.
Mm-hmm. I remember speaking to a friend once, and she made a comment like that about her body, and she implied that she was joking. But I'm wondering, does it still affect us when we think we're joking?
Absolutely, yeah. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. And actually doesn't know the difference between imagination and memory. It comes across the same way. So as we're meditating and we're creating visualizations of what we want for our lives, it gets input into the operating system the same way as if you are ruminating on a memory. So, if you are often thinking of hard things or painful things that happen to you, heartbreak or this or that, failures, which is just a word, right?
Yes.
A failure can be an opportunity. But if you're focused on that, then like attracts like. You feel free to focus on awesome memories, and also, are you more focused on your past, or are you moving into your future? And that's something to check in with yourself too. Because unless your past has been thoroughly amazing and you want more of it, you don't want to be living in your past. And even if your past was thoroughly amazing, you probably want to keep going even further. You keep wanting, move forward with that. So what you focus on, where you place your attention, and that includes the words that you use, creates the experience of your life.
Do you encourage people to make vision boards for themselves to be in that place of thinking about where they're going?
Yeah, vision boards can be great, and that's a great thing to focus on, having stuff up on the mirror, in your car, different places like that. And it's all addressing the conscious mind, that 5 to 10%. So it's great to have those awesome focuses and those visuals, and I say go for it. Why not? And let's also address that 90%.
Getting deeper.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. Okay, so how do you feel about getting older? When you think, oh, I'm getting older, there's so many women I hear saying, negative things about it. And I love that you're not going to go there, but what does it make you feel like?
Well, I just turned 45. My birthday was just recently.
Happy birthday.
It's a mindset thing, it's a chance to say, wow, I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to have the wisdom and the experiences and all the blessings in my life. And I get to choose to focus on that. I get to choose to focus on, I'm the strongest and the leanest. Honestly, I'm the strongest and the leanest in my physical body I've ever been. I'm the most emotionally strong and stable, and I love myself more than I ever have. So that trajectory can just continue. Why not? It's just getting better and better with age, and keeping yourself in that happy place.
Yeah. Okay, so we get to talk about your fun free gift. I love that you have written this book because we talked about some of your top tips, but your book is The 7 Secrets, or How to Age Backwards is the book, and it gives 7 secrets on how to age backwards.
Yeah, so the things we haven't talked about today are in the book, How to Age Backward at agebackward.com/gift. And so that's a $27 value that I'm happy to share with everyone on this call. And then my full-length book is on Amazon. It's called Not Broken, and it's the story of my long illness and what I learned along the way and how I recovered specifically. So age backward, and then especially if you're dealing with chronic illness, look into Not Broken. But definitely get your free gift because that's something I want to give everyone today.
Yes, and that is in the email along with this interview. There's a link, so you'll just click on the link and you'll be able to get your book. And then, let's see, is there anything else on your heart that we haven't talked about?
One thing I've been into lately that I feel like has really been a blessing and really has shown up in the right timing is crystals. If you're not into crystals, I wear this orgone all the time, and it really helps with energy protection and vitality and different things like that. So look into crystals. Crystals are amazing, and I'm still learning about it. And I feel like anything that can help accentuate and help you just be able to access your best self. And that might be different for different people. For some people, it's essential oils. But I have, the crystal I wear every day, and then I have a couple. I'm starting to get my collection of crystals. So I would say this one's from a company called ReikiOrgone.com, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And just look into what resonates with you, because at the end of the day, just checking in with your own intuition on what's important to you. And it's going to be different for different people, but there are certain things that definitely help.
And those things are helping us access that place of connection with ourselves.
And the higher vibrations too. Yeah. So if you have something, that makes you feel good and makes you feel more vibrant, maybe it's a color, maybe it's wearing a certain color, or expressing yourself in a certain way. Also for me, it's movement and dance. I'm very kinesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to get that movement and dance in every day, and not just exercise, but in a way that just really just makes me feel good and liberates my soul. So really starting to tap into those things and access your inner wisdom in that manner.
It's been such a pleasure to talk to you today, Marcie.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. For everyone watching, go get your free book. Click on the link in your email and get your free book from Marcie. And don't forget to join us again tomorrow for more secrets on feeling and looking more vibrant every day. Bye.